For lesson 10, we are going to move into understanding proportional relationships. And a proportional relationship is formed when a group of ratios are equivalent. So in other words, when we make fractions out of the numbers given and they all equal the same thing, then we can tell it's a proportional relationship. We also have a thing called the constant of proportionality, and that is the unit rate. So we've been talking about unit rates for a while. That's going to carry over. That number is going to be called the constant of proportionality. Now they are all the same. So when you figure out all of the ratios for the information given, if they are all the same number, that number is your constant of proportionality. So for the first example here, it says, how can you use a table to tell if a relationship is proportional? So here is our movie ticket prices. So it gives us the total cost on the top and the number of tickets on the bottom. So we want to know our unit rate here for each price. And our unit rate would be the cost per person. So if you remember, cost per person means cost divided by person. So for this first one, they paid $8 for one person, $8 per one. So that would simplify down to 8. So the unit rate there would be 8, or the constant would be 8. For the next spot over, they paid $16 for two people. So 16 per 2, that would simplify down to 8 as well. And then third, they paid $24 for 3 people. That would simplify to 8. And then $32 for 4 people. That would simplify to 8 as well. So looking here, each time we divided, we got the same number out. So we can say that this is a proportional relationship, and then we can say that the constant of proportionality is 8. We can also turn this into an equation by saying we can take 8 and multiply it by the x, which would be our number of tickets, and we could get our price out. All right, so the cost to play in a soccer tournament. So again, we're going to see if this is a proportional relationship or not. So remember, cost divided by people, or team members in this case. So for the first one, we're going to do $7 for one person. That would be 7. This one is $8 for 2 people. So 8 over 2 would be $4 a person. The next one would be $9 per 3 people. So that would be $3 a person. And then this one is $10 for 4 people. That would reduce down to 5 over 2, which is the same thing as 2.5. So $2, we're talking about money, so we have to have that 0 on the end. So we're looking at our simplified answers here. They are not all of the same, so this is not proportional. And we can't take and write an equation using this information, so not proportional. So what happens is it looks like they're giving a deal for more people. So the more people you have, the cheaper it gets per person on that situation. All right, and then we're going to look at graphs. How can you use a graph to tell if a relationship is proportional? So we're going to look for 2 things. The first thing is that it's a straight line. And it looks like both graphs here are both straight lines, so they pass number 1. Then number 2 is that the line goes through the origin. It's not lines. And the origin on the graph is the ordered pair 0, 0. So let's look. We talked about how they are both straight lines, so that's good. And then number 2, they have to go through the point 0, 0. So this one over here does but this one does not. So the moon weight and the earth weight is proportional, but the total cost to the number of games is not proportional. So pretty simple there. Two things you have to remember and look for in graphs.